You're angry, so you throw your controller at the wall, you go online, you rant about how unfair the game is, and your frustration is met with 2 words: get good. So what do you do next? Do you uninstall and let the game defeat you? Or do you adapt and make a glorious comeback? The DLC got review bombed, and few make valid points such as performance issues that turn boss fights into a coin toss between life and death. Reminds me about the Souls community talking about Lords of the Fallen being super buggy to most people. Meanwhile, I got really lucky and I didn't get a single crash until like 70 hours in or something. But I know I'm not the norm there, I'm the exception. So if you dropped a bad review on Shadow of the Erdtree because of performance issues, please make them as specific as possible so that the devs can try and fix things. I'm not sure if it's an optimization issue, if it's an issue regarding specific specs within your PC or console, but just know that my heart goes out to you. Most of the negative reviews just say that the game is too hard and that the bosses are bad and unfair. After all, why is it that their boss-wrecking power stance build is nothing but a joke to someone like Rilana or Mesmer? Or how come their level 400 Elden Lord is getting 2-shot by a regular soldier? The answer is simple: you're refusing to adapt. Souls games are hard, there is no way around it, and the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC is a prime sample of that famous difficulty. But it seems like a lot of people are frustrated because they're getting things wrong from the get-go. When you hit a wall in a Souls game, you have a choice to make. You can summon NPCs or other players to help you. You can make your own little side quest and go find new weapons and respec. Or you can bash your head into the wall hundreds of times and see what breaks first: the wall or your head. To many, the DLC is hard because they refuse to partake in proper scaling. They don't explore the world, they don't collect the Stardew Tree fragments or revered spirit ashes. So their build with 80 points in arcane and dexterity becomes useless. They will deal no damage and they will be one-shot by every boss. But why should I go out of my way to pick up some silly item? Because these items will empower you and your allies. You'll be dealing more damage and taking less damage, and most of these items don't require you to conquer a single enemy. Also, I think collecting a few of these items here and there is a better way to catch up to the damage scaling in the DLC than leveling up multiple stats simultaneously. Traditional leveling up would take ages and it would make the base game a joke. But that's just my opinion. Whether your plan is to solo every boss or just win whatever means necessary, why wouldn't you make use of every available tool? If you are complaining that the game is too difficult, why punish yourself even further? Have you taken a break from rushing strongholds and castles and bosses to explore the world around you? Have you taken a step back to analyze the weakness of your playstyles? I know it's frustrating. I was there too. I wanted to solo every boss with my strength and intelligence hybrid build. Then I got to Rilana quite early on the DLC, and she has insanely high magic resistance. Now my points in intelligence aren't very useful at all, so I'm hitting a wall. Remember, I'm now facing a choice. Should I summon helpers? No, I want to solo the boss. Should I respec? No, I like my build and I think it worked well before. Well, looks like I'm choosing the hardest option, aren't I? Because in this instance, I refused to adapt. I kept banging my head against the wall again and again and again. I was getting very frustrated. So I chose to study every little move she made, every opening, every possible follow-up. Eventually, despite my stubbornness and my build being a poor matchup, I did it. But I'm sure you guys can tell that this was by far the worst approach possible. I could have easily explored other areas and upgraded my stats and equipment. So out of all the reasons as to why this boss was hard, you know, the damage, the speed, the mix of combos, the hardest thing about this fight was my approach. A lot of people get caught up in their frustration and it turns it to rage. They lose focus, they don't reflect, but most importantly, they don't adapt. You're angry, you'll leave a bad review, and then you uninstall the game. It was just too hard. But what if instead of trying the same thing for hours, you went on a little side quest for 10 minutes? You might find items to power you up, new weapons to try, items to respec. And I get it, some of us are busy, but if that's the case, why not look at some great spoiler-free guides then? The Souls community has plenty of incredible guides on where to find useful items and even some guides on beating bosses. I've left a few of them in the description that I used myself. When you hit a wall, make the right choice. Use your summons, change your stats, take a break. Don't let your anger be the hardest part about the boss fight. Don't be like me. I made the poor choice of postponing a decision I knew I was gonna make anyway. My end result was spending too much time on something I knew would have been easier had I just been a little more flexible. This is why Souls players love a good comeback story. Look at Let Me Solo Her. He wasn't always a millennia killing legend. He was once a dude who lost to a boss over 250 times before his first kill. Now he is immortalized as one of the best players out there, all because he just calmed down and kept trying. And I know what this frustration is like. We all do. We've been in your shoes. With every new boss, someone is going to share in your frustration. But just like real life, you have to adapt. You gotta make the right choice. That's the true meaning of getting good. Sure, some idiots might try to gatekeep you, but why listen to some sad motherfucker who thinks that online trolling and talking to you about Spirit Ashes being cheating is an enjoyable experience? It's just a video game, and at the end of the day, it's meant to be fun, so you should play it in a way that's fun for you. Whether you're playing with one weapon or a bleed build, whether you're a mage relying on your Spirit Ashes to get the tanking done for you, whether you are dodging all the time, or if you just have a tank build where you block everything. You gotta find your own way to success. So if you're stuck and you're angry, take a step back. Go explore, look at some guides, get some Scardu fragments, some larval tears maybe to respec. Look at build ideas, try new playstyles, search for a new angle. Because why should you stay angry when you can choose to get good instead? I know this video won't have a major impact upon the community, but I did want to say a couple of words of encouragement so that hopefully you can come back to the game, try something new, and have a glorious comeback. But that's all from me today. Let me know what you feel about this video in the comments below. Stay safe, and until we meet again.